화장실 그냥 화장실 가셨대요. 화장실 저 끝에 있어요. Okay, I'm in Kyrgyzstan now. That went pretty smooth considering I had to get in here by 10 p.m. and I got here from the airport and a long taxi ride. I actually got a taxi driver from the airport, like recommended by the Beeline guy, and it was a really wild ride. I think the adventure was worth it just there. Like it was more fun than um, the plane ride here, but the plane ride was also bumpy as shit. 2 hours before, or like, it's a few hours before we were supposed to take the fly or Astana Air Astana flight. They like switched it to their budget, like lower class airline called Fly Aristan. And they sent the email like, we're sorry, if you want a refund, you can have one. Otherwise, sorry. Shittier airplane. And it was way bumpy, but it's going over the Tian Shan Mountains. Really short flight, shortest flight that I've taken in years. But got here into Kyrgyzstan and another country. And now I'm in a little, like a hostel room. There's 2 beds in here. This could be my room by myself, but if someone else shows up, then I have a roommate. And I will read what it says right here. Okay, the sign says no smoking. If I smoke, this is 3,000 som fine. So that's going to be a little bit confusing to me because Uzbek was also som, and that was the currency where you could get like millions of it real easy. I wonder if the word som is related to the Latin word sum. Anyway, I already got some meat, very cheap, and some water from the airplane. And first impressions of Kyrgyzstan coming into Bishkek. This is the capital city, and it already seems like the backwoods, because I'm going to Bishkek and then I'm going to Karakol, inshallah. And I thought Karakol would be like this, but this is already like this, but it's like gravelly and like dusty gravel roads with like all sorts of stuff being thrown up from the road. Really cool, really different from Kazakhstan already, and definitely different from Uzbekistan, and definitely different from the rest of the world. The beach. These sausages are dangerously inexpensive. I feel like I'm really gonna go all the way with these, and if I drop dead, then well, secret purpose over. But if not, then I'm gonna keep. I don't even know what this is. This could be human meat for all I know. Can you read that? Let's read it. All right, so I ran it through a translator. I still don't know what it is, but it's not pork because it's halal. I assume. Why is it so cheap? Here's some Kyrgyzstan, some
Mama daha geçecek. Mama. Daha geçecek.
It takes a while to make mineral coffee, but let me tell you, this stuff really, really has everything you need, especially if you got a good instant coffee like Carte Noir and some good mineral water like Bon Aqua. It settles down and it's just everything you need. I don't know what it is, but I really like staying in this like gravel pit in the middle of nowhere, Bishkek, Kyrgyzstan. There's just something about it that, I don't know, it's sunny, it's really inexpensive, and I'm always thinking I'm gonna get hit by a car in a fucking gravel mist. Let's go. Wow, it's almost like impossible to see the Tianshan Mountains through the clouds, and it's almost like they're not there, but they're there. I don't know if you can see that. That's wild. Really tall. Actually stay in a room up there. Damn, this area is hard to navigate. Restaurant is supposedly like a 15-minute walk from Tulpar Hotel, and this is I don't know, it reminds me of, it almost reminds me of some parts of the United States, just like where nothing's going on. It's crazy. It's crazy to think like how close to China this place is. Just right over those mountains is China, but it's a part of China that I'm not familiar with. I'm totally more familiar with Eastern China. That's extreme Western China, and I'll be flying in there, inshallah, about a month from now. I hope that happens because it seems really cool. But yeah, this is almost China here. It's so weird. Go home. I travel. Damn, dude. There is a concept or a phenomenon I've been thinking about that I've been calling cultural background radiation. And I put it on my to-do list for each country I visit now, or each city I visit now. And this cultural background radiation is something that I think is the easiest thing to get from travel and the laziest thing to get from travel, but also something that shouldn't be ignored. And it's ultimately just the feeling of what it means to be within a culture or a society, even without taking on a specific role. What does it feel like to just be there amongst the people, which is why it's cultural? I think I said before that at the center of all culture is peace. There has to be a sort of peace and abnegation and a total settledness. And I think that you can experience this in a new country over and over again. And it's different every time with this cultural background radiation. Radiation, because I suppose it could be dangerous as radiation is, because it can seep into you, especially if your boundaries are porous, if your psychic boundaries are porous. But also it's like both the positive quality and maybe the negative affliction that people in the society might have. And it's like we are fish, and the water we swim in is the culture we come from, firstly. But there's so many different kinds of it, so much nuance in the cultural background radiation that we exist in. When you travel, you can experience many different kinds. It's something that has to be experienced when you go somewhere, because it's there. It's the water you swim in, like I said. But it's something I don't want to miss. Like, I want to bottle it and really remember what the feeling is like. So maybe documentation in video helps that. But ultimately, there's like an internal experience of an external phenomenon that everyone feels here, wherever here happens to be. Taking in the cultural background radiation here in Kyrgyzstan. Lagman, Plov, I'm kind of reading this backwards. What does this say? Sumsa. Taking in the cultural background radiation and the radiation of the sun.